Ryan, it seemed like from the beginning of tonight it was a struggle, just sort of what was behind struggle, just sort of what was behind that.
Yeah, we were chasing it right from the drop of the full team, and they put us on our heels early.
You called the timeout in the second period. What was your message? And you think the guys responded? What was your message? And you think the guys responded?
We're a little too late, but the message was we got to get back to skating, competing, get on pucks. Playing the game that we know we can play in a sense, and instead of playing in fear. And I just thought we were just on our heels a little too much.
You think you guys were, I don't know, the Avs obviously 16-1-5 going into this game. You guys were maybe a little respected them too much or something like that?
No. I mean, we have total respect for that team. That's not a question.
But too much, though.
I mean, they're a good team. If you don't play the right way, they're going to make you pay. We saw that.
Do you take anything from the power play? You were able to generate a lot of shots from there. Was that sort of the plan to be very, a shot mentality on the power play? Do you take anything from that?
I thought our power play, besides scoring, had some really good looks. I thought they did some good things. Actually, again, I thought it was, we'll go back and look at it, but maybe a step in the right direction in a sense.
Is it disappointing overall, the way that Jarl has played this month, that you guys couldn't support him more tonight?
Yeah, for sure. That stinks. He's played really good hockey. Ned came in, played extremely hard. Our goaltending is not an issue.
And I asked your players this. You talked about the message of being an everydayer team. That's clearly an everyday team on the other side. So what can you guys have learned from them, or should you guys have learned from them tonight?
Well, yeah, we're going to continue to learn as we go here and get better. And we've obviously probably taken a step in the right direction as far as total, sample size of the season. But obviously, we have a ways to go, and to keep going through something like that for Sam Dickinson, for Askey, Ostapchuk, even Eklund and Mac and Will and our young players, I think it's a good learning experience. Young players, I think it's a good learning experience. Good chance they'll be there at the very end. The way they play, shift in and shift out, they get in your face, they win pucks. I mean, it's 6-0. That Malinsky's chasing down our guy at the half wall like it's 0-0 in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. We need to get to that mentality. Are we there yet? No. But there's certainly some things we can learn from.
And I wonder, related to that, you're not going to be the Avs overnight, but what is that next immediate step for your guys to get closer to that level?
I think individually to continue to push to get better each and every night, and get better, a little bit better, learn our lessons here as we go, and as a team having more of an understanding of how we need to play and play against top teams. And look, this does not be the last time we play these guys. It won't be the last time we play a top team. And every night's a challenge in this league. And you got to go out there and you got to play the right way. You got to compete. You got to be mentally engaged. And again, just starting the game on time. And unfortunately, we put on our heels.
Slow start tonight. What happened?
I don't know.
Warzo called a timeout there in the second. Just what was his message during that timeout?
And we just let in 3 goals in 20 seconds, so wake up.
Disappointing this game in particular, to not support your goalie more the way that Jarl has played for you this month.
Yeah, I mean we left him out to dry.
How do you see that start to unfold? Is it just, like a fast start from them, a slow start for you? Like, how does it go for you?
They capitalized on chances early and went up a couple goals.
A big message from Warzo is he talks about being an everydayer. And I just wonder for you as a young player, what does that mean to you to be an everydayer?
Show up every day, compete, do everything you can to win.
The Avalanche are, clearly the other side. You can see that, that's an everyday kind of team. They're going to be a cup contender. Just for you guys, you guys want to get to where the Avs were, but obviously you're not going to be there overnight. Just what in your mind is sort of the next immediate step to get to a place closer to the Avs?
It took them however many years to get there. Obviously, they're the best team in the league, and they've won regulation loss this year, so I think just it's going to take some time.
And just anything you learn or gather from tonight?
I mean, we got waxed. Like, they're a great hockey team.
Thank you, Macklin. Sam, it was tough from the beginning tonight, just sort of what happened.
Just didn't really come prepared. I mean, that's the best team in the league, and that's where we want to be. So it just kind of shows how much work we've got to do and put in to get to that level. And I think that's kind of just what you take from this game.
Warzo called the timeout there in the second period. What was the message from him?
Forget about the score. Just go out, compete. There's still a lot of clock left at that point. So I mean, it's just kind of put your head down, go to work, and you never know what could happen in a game like this. So we went out and tried.
Was it disappointing the way that Askarov has played for you this month to kind of, as Macklin said, hang him out to dry tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's won us a lot of games, and I think we just came out tonight and got a little too into the mindset of maybe he's just gonna win us another game again, and it's just not how it works, and hung him out to dry, and feel terrible for him.
Big message from Warzo is he wants his team to be an everydayer team. He said it many times, I'm sure to you guys, he said it to us. And I just wonder, as a young player, what does that mean to you, that message?
I think it's just, coming in every day, game day, practice day, off day, and, just getting better any way I can. For me, obviously, there's a lot of improvements that I can, get better with, and just focus on that stuff. So, I think for me, it's just coming in, working as hard as I can, listening to the coaches, listening to the other older guys in the team, what they have to say, and just kind of put my head down and go to work every day.
And you mentioned the Avs, best team in the league. They are clearly an everyday sort of team. Just for you guys, and also asking you again as a young player, you're not going to be the Avs overnight, but what is sort of in your mind the kind of the next step, immediate step that you guys can take to get closer to that level?
I think just seeing how hard they compete, line 1 through 4. All 60, it seems like they're always, pulling their weight, doing their job. And, I think that's, the key to a lot of really good teams is, having everybody on the team going every single night. And, it just seems like that's what they get every night.
And what did you learn, if anything, or gather from tonight?
I mean, just, what it takes to be the best team in the league. And, they seem to show it on a nightly basis, with the players that they have and the team that they have. And, they just go out, go to work, and, just kind of put teams in a blender, when they kind of get moving, and when they're hounding and stuff like that. So, I mean, for me, it's just kind of understanding what their top guys do to take over games, and just try to pick little things and maybe throw them into my game if I can.